1931 movie Frankenstein, a mad scientist has created a monster. With a loud strike of lightning and some electrical devices, Dr. Frankenstein watches with glee as his monster becomes alive. With amazement, he exclaims, "It's alive! It's alive!" Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you come alive? Civil rights leader and author Howard Thurman once said, "Don't ask so much what the world needs. Instead, go out and do what makes you come alive, because what the world needs most are people who have come alive." And so I ask all of you today, have you become alive? Have you taken that romantic trip to a faraway land that you've always dreamed about? Have you read that book that you said you were going to read but never seemed to have enough time? Today I'm going to tell you about why this topic is so important to me. And I'm going to share 3 recent experiences in my life of why it is so important to follow your heart. The first experience occurred in 2006. My younger brother, Hugh Hedges, a week after his 40th birthday, had a cold that didn't go away. As he got sicker and sicker, we took him to the emergency room and learned the bad news that he was diagnosed with acute myelocytic leukemia. Our family was in a state of shock as he began treatment the next day, and we continued to have a zombie-like existence as we got sucked into the cancer world. But we were stunned and shocked and saddened beyond belief when 3 months later he passed away. His passing was the ultimate eye-opener for me. I never looked at life again the same way. To me, it represented of how important it is to do and see, experience the things that you want to do, and that every day is a gift. And I continue to do that in memory of my brother, Hugh. The second experience was crossing paths with a fellow Toastmaster named Jim. Jim joined our Unity Toastmasters Club, and from the beginning, he said he wanted to get his competent communicator as fast as he could. His words to me were that he did not have enough time to communicate his message of love, which was a message of love and how important it is to do what's important to you, that it will affect your heart, affect your health. Jim was an enthusiastic member and very supportive of all his fellow club members, and he completed his Competent Communicator Award in 3 months, a feat that normally takes other members a year to complete. What ultimately happened to Jim is that he passed away, and he left behind his message. I believe after listening to all of his speeches, his message was that if we all follow that inner passion within us, it will affect our health, it will affect our life and our relationships. And so I pass that message on to you all in memory of Jim. The last experience occurred in August 2009. I went in to my yearly dermatologist appointment and became a little alarmed when my doctor wanted to do a biopsy on what I thought was like an itty-bitty little pimple on the back of my arm. 2 days later, I got the bad news that it was atypical nodal melanoma, and I was immediately referred to MD Anderson. A week later, I was planning a surgery. I had never been in the hospital before, and I was so afraid. The surgeon also told me that he wanted to take out one of my lymph nodes, which was closest to where the mole was located. And I knew as a nurse that if there was lymph node involvement, it would mean chemotherapy and immunotherapy and a stage 3 and stage 4 diagnosis, which for that type of diagnosis in melanoma, it had a 2-year survival rate. But luckily, there was no lymph node involvement, so the surgery alone was sufficient. I, again, look at this as a reaffirmation of life, of how important it is to do the things that are important to you. My 3 experiences have taught me a whole new way of looking at life. Since those types of experiences, I've done things that are very important to me. I've visited England like I always said I wanted to do. I've reconnected with old childhood friends that I had always wondered about. Perhaps you all have your own view of what makes you happy and what makes you most giddy. And so I urge all of you, in the words of Dr. Frankenstein, to come alive. Madam Toastmaster.